Is a win really a win? Now, sure, a win is a win. But the greater question being, how satisfied as a Packer fan should you be after a performance like Jacksonville, where really, if that's any other team besides the Jacksonville Jaguars or maybe the New York Jets, the Packers lose that game in a blowout. So this has been a pretty hot topic in Packerland recently, especially after that Jacksonville Jaguars game, after all of the 2019 season. So here we are, and I think a lot of fans have been having not flashbacks necessarily, but a lot of predictability and pre-assumed sorrow and sadness after the 2019 season ending in a very bad game for the Packers, which we could see coming along all that season, and now people don't want that to happen again. They want the Packers to be dominant, and I think that's where a lot of the discrepancy and a lot of the upheaval comes from after a game like Jacksonville. They want to be satisfied in their mind that a Super Bowl team, the idea of a Super Bowl team, quote unquote, can and should beat the Jacksonville Jaguars by 50. So when they don't, they aren't too happy with that. And this is where the debate comes in. At what point do you go out there and yell at those fans for being too negative? And what point do you go out there and have those people that are running in the streets acting like we won the Super Bowl? Or not even just that, but acting like this is all fine and dandy here in Titletown. Then that's where the debate starts to come in. The extremes of two sides. They either, you're too negative, you're too positive. And I think you got to look at it like this every game. You don't only look at a win. When it's a loss, you Packers fans aren't going to say a loss is a loss, oh well, let's move on. You look at the game. If it's a 28-point blowout against Tampa Bay, you say, all right, we played awful. But if it's a game lost by 3, you're not having the same reaction, are you? So that's where it's a little bit of a weirdness. I want to celebrate a win. I want to celebrate a win against Jacksonville Jaguars. I'd rather be celebrating a 30-point win over against a bad team. Now, you do have to take in consideration, not every team is going to be able to go out there and throw up 30 points every week, not even the Green Bay Packers, unfortunately. But when this has become a tendency, a pattern in Matt LaFleur's team, Matt LaFleur's coach teams in 2019 and 2020, where the energy is just not there at all through multiple games, you got to ask those questions. Either way, you're not going to be too satisfied after a win against Jacksonville, but a term that I've seen thrown along too much, like I just mentioned, a Super Bowl team doesn't do this. And I mentioned on the Matt Raymond show the other day, thanks Matt for having us on, but I mentioned to him, there's all this talk about that. All a Super Bowl team has to do, really, is get in the dance and then win 4 or 3 games, And I feel confident right now if a few things swing the Packers' way. And we'll see. We'll have to evaluate what's going on in January. But I think a lot of people at this point, when the Packers are 7-2, when the Packers are they should be dominant every year with Aaron Rodgers on their team. They aren't going to want to put up with games like that. Games like Tampa Bay, games like Minnesota, games like the Chargers, 49ers last year. They are not going to want to put up with that. Packers fans want us to be that dominant team, and they want to see it every week, and I'm kind of the same way. You always want to see your team to win, but you want to be convinced every week that, okay, yeah, this team can win a Super Bowl, and you don't want to face weeks like that. Our moods were much stronger weeks 1 through 4. Hopefully we're not saying that come December. Hopefully we're not saying our best football was played in September, but we'll see what happens. Going into the final stretch of the season, I'm really excited. This week against the Colts, I'm really excited to see us go up against a very likely playoff team, going up against a team that is very well matched up against us. I want to see how we do. Even if we lose, if we put up a very good game, hold our ground, then we'll see. Maybe the home field advantage for the Colts will come in and help them. We'll see what happens. I just want to see us hold our own. Hopefully win, obviously, but as long as we hold our ground, I'll be feeling a little bit more confident. Thanks, everybody, for watching. This was Joey of Underage Packers. Make sure you tune into our episode tomorrow where Big B returns from his hospital after he dominates cancer for episode 39.